Hello, my name's Timothy Knight, and I'd like to share some information with you today regarding a somewhat controversial topic, but one that's very personal to me and has touched my life. Furthermore, I'm certain if you plan to enter the mental health fields or teaching fields, I know a lot of those watching are wanting to be nurses and psychiatrists, psychologists, you're going to want to certainly listen up to what I have to say. It may be pertinent to your future career. I want to introduce you today to the subject of false memory syndrome, or FMS. Now, perhaps I can best illustrate FMS by recalling an actual case which Spencer A. Rathus, the author of Psychology Concepts and Connections, recorded in his textbook. He said a young woman in psychotherapy recovered the memory that at age 13 she was raped by a teacher, became pregnant, and had an abortion. And there was no corroborating evidence that this event ever occurred. In fact, the woman had not even reached menarche until age 15, which made it medically impossible for her to become pregnant. Yet, she was able to file charges, took the teacher to court, and they took him through a lengthy court trial that cost him his entire life savings and ruined his reputation in the community. Of course, in the end, the judge found that there was not enough scientific evidence to prove that he had raped this young girl and that it had ever occurred. Tragic, yet more common than we want to imagine. Now, I believe if people understand the subject and the workings of FMS, they can better avoid the pitfalls associated with the disorder. Now, I was married to my high school sweetheart for 18 years, and for the last 12 years of our marriage, it became a living hell, I believe, because she was victimized by false memory syndrome. She entered therapy for depression and wound up with multiple personality disorder and being bipolar and being borderline and having every possible mental disorder available. I believe it was suggested to her, and I believe she got that in therapy. It was very difficult and ended finally in our divorce. So I'm familiar with the topic, and I believe can speak a little bit into what I'm sharing with you today. But for the next few minutes, I want to share with you the definition of FMS to give you a better understanding of what it is. I want to explore how the victim develops FMS, and finally, we want to look at how FMS impacts the lives of the people that's involved in the situation. Now, according to the Encarta Dictionary and Wikipedia, false memory syndrome is defined as a condition in which a person's identity and interpersonal relationships are centered around a memory or traumatic experience which is objectively false, but which the person strongly believes. Now, generally, the therapy or hypnosis was elicited apparent memories, especially of childhood abuse, which are disputed by family members. Now, although FMS is similar to other memory disorders like amnesia and PTSD, it has one unique difference. Usually, FMS is recall of an unrealistic event without foundation or evidence that the event really happened or actually could have happened. In other words, with FMS, the memory only exists in the mind of the victim. Now, once the idea is suggested and received by the victim, it becomes real to them. And once stored in the hippocampus section of the brain, the memory may last for years, it may last forever. You see, now it's scientific. Regardless whether the memory ever took place or not, they remember it as being real. There are many ways, including hypnosis, probing questions, association with others through group therapy and chat rooms and drug interactions, that a lot of ways to serve to help a victim create false memories. But I can tell you this, once it's started, there's very few ways to stop it. It's a growing cancer within the mind of the poor victim. Of course, we heard in the beginning the story of the school teacher who was falsely accused. We know what it cost him. But it also costs the victims even more. You see, the end result of a victim taking on a suggested memory as reality may ultimately serve to destroy the lives associated with the victim and the accused, and cause the victim to lose their identity forever and to leave them in a worse state than they experienced in the beginning. Now, without the suggestions to explain the source of their problems, the client may continue to suffer with unanswered questions regarding their abuse. They may not get the satisfaction that they want and the judgment that they need, but they can certainly avoid a lifetime of regret that results from false accusations and from false memories that are claimed that never happened.